Welcome to My Accent is No Accident podcast. I'm your host, Maritza Perez, and we are here today with an amazing guest with a wonderful story of resiliency and endurance. He's an author and motivation speaker, Kevin Marius. Kevin's journey is a testament to the power of unwavering determination. It's a story that has touched the lives of many, inspiring them to chase their dreams with the same vigor and resiliency that he has demonstrated. His story is unique and deeply inspirational, and it has the potential to leave an indelible impact on anyone fortunate enough to hear it. Kevin Marius is more than a motivational speaker. He is a living embodiment of what is possible when will not only inspire you, but also empower you to overcome any obstacles that stand between you and your goals. Get ready to be moved, motivated, and transformed as Kevin shares his remarkable journey in the life and lessons he has along the way. Welcome, Kevin. It is an honor and a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you, Maritza, and thank you for having me. I know it's been a while and we've been trying to get this done, but we're finally here. So I really appreciate you having me, and I'm honored to be here.
Certainly, I'm very, very happy that you're finally here. Our first conversation was amazing. I was really waiting for the interview with you with this amazing story of yours. But before we get to it, I would like to ask you our theme question. What is your accent and why is not an accident?
First of all, I am so amazed about the name of this podcast. My accent is no accident, and because it allowed me to reflect deep inside to realize, wow, this summarized my my story and journey, and my accent is pretty much a resume of everything that I've been through, and it tells you the journey and the grief, the resiliency that I've been through. So my accent is pretty much tell the story of when life tried to break me down but failed, right? It's a story, it holds the scars that you get to see, and everyone will ask the same question, what happened? And to tell you a little bit about my accent, I'm from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. I grew up here with my family. And before that, my mom and my dad met in Haiti as well, and they had me. It was a struggle having me because my mom faced a lot of concerns when it comes to medical, and my dad had to figure out a way to emerge, to book a flight to definitely have her move to the U.S. And that was emergency. And the minute she got out the plane, she went straight to the hospital. And I was born through a C-section, and I was only 8 months. So I was in the ICU for days. And the reason why I tell you this story is to tell you in the foundation of I was born to be resilient. I was born to fight a different life. And since then, everything that's been happening in my life has been a journey. And growing up in Haiti, facing political unrest, I almost lost my life, my sister and I. And this is the reason when I grew older that my dad decided to send me to the US. And when my dad decided to send me to the US, we didn't have anybody here to send me to. So it was just a friend of a friend that I heard that kept talking about it around the church. And there was a pastor who decided to take me in. So now, I want you to visualize this: a 17-year-old kid leaving his home, going to live with a stranger. So it was a life shocking for me. And when I got there, I realized, okay, maybe this is just a nightmare. Maybe I get to wake up the next day and see my parents and my family. When I woke up that morning, it was different. I've seen those buildings and I heard people and the kids playing on the playground. So it was a different environment. So that changed my life, and it was a culture shock, and it affected me for multiple years. And during the process as well, trying to figure out who I am, and as well fighting to be the best version that I could be. I didn't know any better. 17-year-old kid didn't have any guidance. And when I got here, my parents forgot about me. And I know there's way other problem they have to deal with in Haiti. So I didn't hear from them for years. When I heard from my dad, it was in January 2010. Pretty much, we were just having a conversation. I'll be before January 10. I'll tell you a story a bit, but it was the year prior when I called him for New Year, and I wished him a Happy New Year. And when I wished him a Happy New Year, I told him that, "Wow, Dad, I'm sorry. You didn't. I know you didn't call, but I should have called." And I decided to I told him that I'm going to travel back to Haiti to meet them because I would like all of us to be back again as a family. So I planned everything to go back there, and unfortunately, in January 10th, the earthquake happened. Right in 2010, January 12th, the earthquake happened in Haiti, and I lost him. And what I
Oh,
learned from this journey is tell anybody what you're thinking of, right? Stop holding grudges and open your heart, because you never know, tomorrow never comes. You never know when that person will have the opportunity to be here again to tell them. So that's what I learned from there. But again, after that happened, my life been a completely nightmare. I got kicked out where I used to live. Now I'm 21 years old, and I find myself sleeping in the basement on a piece of cardboard. And I was sitting there staring at the ceiling and asking God to take my life away because I didn't find any purpose in living. I didn't know that I am going to be where I am today. So that night, I wanted to give up. And I learned one thing about this as well. Great lessons is when you quitting is a choice, right? Quitting is a choice, and nobody's
exactly.
saying quit. So the reason why you quit is because you decide to give up. But if you continue to keep moving forward, you eventually succeed. So when I was there and I was staring at the ceiling and I was going back and forth, then all of a sudden I changed something. What I changed was very important. That's everyone asked me how I was able to get out and cope with what happened in my life. And I told them it's because I used to pray for the storm to stop. I used to pray for the rain to cease, but I changed my prayer in a different way now. I asked God to give me strength so I could weather the storm. And I asked God, hey, I will walk through this rain and I'll do whatever I could do and learn something from it. And that's what I did. So I got up and I went to the 99-cent store. I purchased some sticky notes and I wrote my dreams and aspiration and word of affirmation. And the first word that I wrote on that one sticky note was, "This is just a stop, not your destination." So it's been a journey for me, and going through life as well. And it never stopped. And because we faced infertility journey. We could talk about that a little bit later on. I faced infertility journey with my wife when doctor told us we would not have any kids, and it was devastating for us. And while we got married, can you imagine the basement kid that used to sleep on a piece of cardboard ended up purchases first, and my wife and I would purchase our first home, and doctor hit us with that news, and we fought for 3 years, and finally happened in 2021. And the greatest news is we are in 2024 and we're on our third kid, so third child.
Yay.
Just welcome our baby boy Friday. So we got two girls and we have a baby boy just turned 2 months. So the story is to tell you not to give up, right?
Yes.
Yep, facing adversity is two things that could happen. You could either complain and be angry, or you could choose resilience.
Exactly. And I love your story, and especially the way you say it as a great speaker. But I have so many questions in between. So, what motivates you to become a speaker?
What motivated me to become a speaker was I found so many other people. There was a problem. The problem is so many people wanted to give up. And what I wanted to do is find a way to motivate those folks to be the best version they could be. Because in my entire life, I found so many times people told me that I can't be who I want to be. So, so many times I hear no, it's impossible, right? It's impossible to have children. It's impossible to become a professional. It's impossible to purchase a home. And every time they tell me it's impossible, those words have motivated me to make it happen. So I choose to become a speaker. And as well, I wrote my first book last year, published in November. And I wanted to reach so many people to let them know whatever you're going through is just a stop, not your destination. So I wanted them to understand that there's greatness within them, and quitting is a choice. And if they decide to keep moving forward, they don't have to quit. They could still reach the destination.
That is true. And it's so beautiful. And the message, it really resonates with everyone and anyone throughout life. And but there are also a couple of stories within your story.
Mhm.
Um, I see certifications and I see graduation and diplomas and things like that. And I love that part of your story of how you went through everything and anything and you said, I'm going to do this. Tell us about what you did after you graduated from high school.
So after I graduated high school and trying to find to just trying to figure out where I wanted to be, parents, all these issues happening, earthquake, and also I was lost. So the first thing I did, and on top of that, I will tell you, Maritza, I was fighting and dealing with language barrier because um, when I traveled from Haiti to here, I speak no English, so I had to figure this all out. And the fact, not only figure this all out, and the bully and people pointing fingers and
Mhm.
having fun with your accent because they realize that hey, you speak funny. Why you have such an accent? And back then, I used to be offended by it. But over the years, I learned to live with it because it's part of me and it's part of my journey. And again, it's part of the statement. It's no accident. So I'm here for a
Yes.
reason, and I'm here to stay, and I belong here. So I had to learn how to incorporate that in who I am, right? Because part of my journey is the clothes that I wear. It's part of Kevin. And when I started dealing with that, the first thing I did is I needed a job. So there's no way I will survive without having a job. So facing language barrier and trying to figure out how to get a job, those two things don't match together because you have to speak English and you have to figure out how to go through an interview. So my first job was at McDonald's. I went there, looked for a job. I wanted to be a cashier. So dare me to be, that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a cashier. I speak no English. I'm not able to communicate, but the cashier position was what I had in mind until I realized that when a customer walked into me and asked me for a quarter pounder with cheese, and I didn't understand what they were saying. It's like they were telling me to do something else. So I looked at my manager, and my manager understood and said, "Okay, maybe we should try the drive-through." So I went to the drive-through, and when I went to the drive-through and I have a headset, it was even worse, right? Because the customers tell me what they wanted.
Not as good.
I had no clue. I was giving customers Sprite for Coke, whatever the case might be. I was all over the place, and my manager realized I was making so many mistakes for people who was coming back and decided to. He wanted to let me go first, but when he realized how good a worker I was, and I was determined, so he gave me the only job that was left was to be a janitor. So I became the janitor at McDonald's and cleaned up restroom. And when I was there, it didn't really bother me because I needed a job. But again, every time my friends come from high school, pass by the McDonald's, I always used to hide because I did not want them to see me as a janitor, but I needed the money. But over the years, I'm grateful that happened because it finds a way to humble me. And life is one of the greatest teacher because over the years, from diploma that you see here, from work recognition, from being promoted multiple times, being awarded for leadership, and all this comes because I was from the janitor to where I am today. I'm able to connect with people. It doesn't matter who you are. So I get to corporate office, and I'll have my suit on, and I walk around, and the first person you see me greeting when I pass by is the janitor's cleaning. Some
Yes.
people will not, but me, I will. I'll pass by and I'll shake their hand. And when I shake their hand, I'll tell them one thing is, hey, this is just a stop, not your destination. Because I want them to hear my story because it motivate you. It's funny how you're saying that. I just had one person that used to clean out where I used to work back then, one of the building that I managed, and they called me the other day and they sent me their diploma. They went back to school and they graduated college. And
Oh,
first thing she said was, "You motivated me." So you never know who you will touch. And it took me
yeah.
a while because I had to go to work, support myself, and it took me a long to finally graduate college. But when I got my kids and my wife supported me as well, and I said, I want my kids to know that their dad is not just talking about resilience. I lived that life. So I went back to school, and no matter what it takes, I graduated. I got my degree, and I was so excited when it happened. And this is the story, and I'm continue doing it now. So
Yeah.
whatever it takes for me to learn and add to our knowledge is very important.
And that is a beautiful story because I think that it touches also the hearts of so many people that immigrate
Right.
to a new country, not only US but to a new country, and they have to face the new culture, new language, and I tell them every day it is possible. You
Yes.
just have to be patient with yourself and take one step at a time, and also find that people are within the people that are around you. Yes, you will find some people that might be
Right.
bullies, but you will also find a lot of angels that will give you the hand to move forward and to help you throughout any step of your life.
Yep. I agree with you 100% there because growing up in Coney Island, and let's add this, right? When I got to the US, I got to Coney, and I live in Brooklyn and Coney Island. So it was really affected by drugs and gang and violence. So there's so many kids I know that came from Haiti and that got to the buildings and they end up being part of the gang and the violence. And what saved me was great people that was around me, right? Great mentors that along the way that told me that number one, you don't have to choose that path. You can make a difference. Be you. Be authentic. Don't be like somebody else. Don't fall for the peer pressure. Just make sure that you stay behind you. And that's what saved me throughout the years. Is those people. And the other part is my dad was really hard. So the fact that for my dad to hear news that I was in the gangs, it would have hurt him so bad. So that helped me a little bit as well. So you know how when you come from another country, you know how your parents they're really about the name, the family name, and
Yeah.
they're about a not be a disappointment. So you have to whatever you need to do, you have to figure this out. but I don't want to hear your disappointment to the family. So I carry
Exactly.
that burden.
I know that one very well. Very, very, very well. Um, Hi, I'm very happy to know you are here watching our podcast today. It is an honor to be featuring so many entrepreneurs on the journeys of their inside voice, their accent that is not an accident. And we want to reach out more people like you who are creating a better world of diversity, inclusiveness, equity, and belonging. So please take a moment to hit the subscribe button below, like, and share to others. And even if you want to leave a comment, that'll be nice. Thank you for your support. And now back to the episode. So, moving forward, you have worked in corporate and you have done other things, but then you always had this this need of this burning in your heart to talk about your story to help. And then you wrote. That's when the book
Yep.
came forward. What is the name of your book?
The name of the book is Unbreakable. Unbreakable is the name of it, and I picked that name to let you know that you are unbreakable. So it's life could try and do everything throw at you, but I just want you to know you are unbreakable. You are resilient, and you could fight whatever comes your way. You could get out of your situations. You just gotta be positive. I'll never say it will be easy. And if you read the book, it's not about being easy. It's about being consistent, being resilient, and it's about keep moving forward no matter what. So you could fall today, right? It will all happen. We'll fall on the ground. We'll get knocked out. Life knocked us out for today, right? But I will say is there's no way you should still be on the ground next week, right? I'm okay
Yes,
if I'm knocked out today, but next week, if I come back and stay on the ground, now there's a problem. So you got to find a way to get back up and keep moving forward.
yes, I agree with you. I mean, and I love the name of the book first of all, Unbreakable, and the significance that you give it, the meaning of not you're not going to break, just keep on going.
Yep.
Um, I love these is and especially I will put all the links in the notes so that people can find your book and get it. It's a beautiful book that talks about the resilience, it talks about the struggles, and how your story can change just by changing this your mindset.
Yep. It's
So, and then people read your book and started asking you to talk.
yes. I have a lot of I get those message every each time a reader will read, and some people that I know that's close, and when they get that, when they get the book, and because there's more, because I have time to break it down in the book, so you get to learn, you get all those nuggets and everything that you need to understand. Wow, how come how come this happened? Because in the book I describe about how it's like as a kid growing up in the country, smelling the coffee and hearing the rooster and all the things that you're seeing in your family, you feel so comfortable. This is your comfort zone. This is where you grew up, and this is all that you know. And the love and the connection that you have there is everything. And as well, I describe how it felt to lose that connection, how it felt to lose that. And as well as what I talk about is how it hurt me, right? We got to talk about the emotional part of it. And people always ask me, how did you get through this? And I tell them, till today, it still hurt me. I just found a way to navigate around it because the scars are still there, right? I still go back and when I was writing the book, and I spent so many time crying writing the book. It
Yeah.
was kind of therapy for me when I was writing it, and that's when everybody that read it could feel the emotion because as I was crying and I was writing, and you could feel the part of it telling you, "Why did you leave me?" right? Why did you leave me just like this, 17 years old, have no guidance? What was the point behind it? Hey, God knew what it was, right? Because I could have died in the earthquake as well, right? When it happened
Yes,
in 2010, God knew exactly what. But the trauma, the emotional and psychological and everything that goes behind it took a toll as well. It turned me in who I am today. That's why the first thing that I do now is I give back, right? I give back.
exactly. And that is beautiful because what you're saying, the story that you're telling in the book, it's it can be the story of many of us.
Yep,
And it doesn't only resonate with them, but it also shows them that what you were telling people, that this is just a phase, this is just part of your life, but it's not
right,
everything.
correct.
What you're going through right now, like what you say, is just a stop, is
Yep, just a
not the
stop, not
end.
a destination, correct. Yep.
Exactly. And I love that. So you are right now an author and a speaker, and you speak on how to turn your story of a struggle, perseverance, resilience, and grief into motivation.
Yes.
Um, do you, and you also, I'm sorry, and you also speak in a specific to youth programs.
Yes, I speak to the young children just to understand who they are and to understand that once you have a vision and it's possible, right? I encourage them to keep dreaming, and then I as well tell them that life is not easy. You have to be a fighter, you have to be a warrior in order for you to get what you want. And this year we have an amazing. This is first year that we are doing that. We have the back to school program that we are doing, and we're giving back to the children as well. It will be a motivational speaking event as well, and where the kids will attend, they'll get the school supplies, but as well we get to deposit positivity into those kids' life. They need to learn what is resilience. They need to learn about how to be a leader, right, and not to fall for anything, and because their life is important and they have to ensure that it's an example for others. So, yep, that's what we are doing this year, and we've done so many. We've done some stuff for women, and we give back, and that was that was a giving back for what God did for us for our two children,
Mhm.
and before my son came. So we gave to the women's shelter. We give supplies for babies, women, and children shelters. So we gave supplies to the kids and the young. We gave diapers, baby bottles, because we understand that hey, it was a struggle for us getting there, and we got here. So what are we going to do about it? And that's what I challenge anyone who's listening. Right? You've been through it. You're through it. You already passed it. So what are you doing? We need to go back and change those people's lives. We need to go back and add it. Do not be afraid. That's why I'm so vulnerable. I'll tell my story to whoever. I'll sit down and tell you all the pain that I've been through, all the night that I cry and suicidal thoughts, because I want you to understand that there's before I leave this planet, I have no an empty tank. I need to leave on an empty tank. So I need to tell you the many lives I could change and the opportunity I have. I want to do that.
And that is amazing and beautiful, Kevin, because that also tells our audience and all the people out there that giving back to the community is not only giving things, but also is a way when you move forward and you continue with your life. It's a way to humble yourself, go back and recognize yourself in the face and experiences of others.
Yep.
And that is exactly, and I love something that you said, that you always give back to the community no matter the ethnicity, and that is so inclusive
Yes.
and diverse, because it truly does not matter where you come from.
Yep. And then that's what put us together. And that's why when I heard title of this podcast, and I realized, wow, we're all one. We can connect, right? The fact that the minute I hear an accent, I already hear a story. And once I hear a story, it's already tied in with resilience. And I already know the minute I hear from it, I know there's a story that I will learn from. And I know there's a story of resilience because I know what it takes to change and the trauma and everything that happened in order for you to change wherever you was at. It could be in whatever countries, and yeah, we all have to leave something behind. And there's a story and there's emotion behind it.
Exactly. And I love it. So tell us a little bit about your podcast as well.
Yes, I'm currently starting my new podcast. It's all about resilience. And the brain always been about Marius motivation. So it's my last name in motivation. And what I want to do is bringing people to talk about their resilience, right? Tell us obstacles that you faced and how you was able to overcome it, because the world needs to hear it. And a lot of people think about, oh my God, my story is not like Marita's story, or it's not like Kevin's story. Oh my God, it's meaningless. I don't have I didn't leave my other country. This person did not die. I didn't go through an infertility journey. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're going, whatever you went through, it doesn't matter what the experience is. You could change somebody's life, right? It could be anything about you overcome a job interview. You ended up to stand up for yourself. Whatever it is, describe you as resilience. That's what we need to hear, and that's what the audience need the motivation for.
Exactly. And it's um a way also to enhance not only the stories of others, and I love podcasting because of that,
Yep.
but also it's a way to touch somebody else's heart that is probably going through stuff that is similar or the same things.
Yep.
um, and I love it. Like, for instance, today I was looking forward to talk to you today because of the accent that is not an accident.
Yes.
It's your life is a reflection of this, and you endurance, and you were resilient and went through so much, and you kept on moving forward no matter the circumstances that life threw you at the different times in life.
Yes.
I did too, my father. um
Sorry to hear that.
yes, that was like 23 years ago, and I was here too. I was in US, and it was very difficult. We were like talking about going and visit him because he was at the hospital, and then in 3 days we lost him.
Wow.
So the the story changing of I'm going to visit my father because he's sick to I'm going to the funeral, I know it very well by heart. Um, and it's a mix of sentiments and some
Yes.
mix of feelings, especially when you get there and then you see your family. You're happy to see them, but yet the circumstances are not as happy.
Yep. Yep. And then yeah, those are some painful. When I lost my dad there, the other part is because of the tragedy that happened in Haiti, we never found his body. So we never had a chance to give him a proper burial, funeral, because we never found the bodies. They had a mass grave where they collect all the bodies and dump them there. So that really somewhere is, and when they ask, hey, yo, in my mind, every time what I think is he's not really, he's still here. Somehow he's in Haiti. I just haven't got the time to book a ticket to go see him yet. So that's what the hurtful part is, because you will never be able to fill that void. It's still there. You can kind of put something there, but will never replace it. So the only thing that I do now, just to get really, is just to be give back. I know those are the things that I used to do, and as well be a better father to my kids. Right? the greatest that you could ever be. So that's what I do now when I kids. I do my daughter's hair, I shower them, I do everything that possible that I could do because it reminds me how important a father connection is with their kids. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel you're that Maritza. I know how it is because the pain is still there. You never can get over it.
No, you never can get over it. Like your father, and the majority of the cases is kind of like your hero, your first hero,
Yes.
and especially for a little girl. But moving forward on the giving back to the community, um, you also make sure that people are inclusive and diverse on your talks, and you talk a lot about diversity and inclusion.
Yes.
Um, and you want to talk a little bit about this?
Yes. What we've done is it's very important to everyone needs to be included, right? Everyone is important, everyone matters. So what even with the speaking and as well giving back. So we even do last year we had 500 plus turkeys that we gave away, and we were in Brooklyn, and we have everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, and this year we do it differently, but we had the package, we have the bags, and we're giving out to whoever walking out, and to let them to give them a meal for Thanksgiving. And that really touched my heart when we did it because I've seen different people. It doesn't matter the race, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you're from, right? There's we need to help people. We need to give a helping hand to one another, and we need to respect people, right? And that's one thing. My wife and I, when we do those things, is just because you're giving other people doesn't mean you just give it to them however you feel like, right? Just because you have to respect people, and that's one thing that we have. If I have a giveaway, I make sure to give you something of quality, and I'm making sure that I give you something that I will myself will want to be given to. So that's important, and that's the most important part that not everybody gets is the respect part, right? Those people are there for a reason, and we're here to create that community, and what we how we treat them matters.
Exactly. And that it's not only important to the community, but it's so it fills your heart,
Right.
because it allows you to see in others um, how their pain converts into a smile, into a moment of happiness, even if it is just the 1 hour, 2 hours that you're there. So I
Hmm.
encourage everybody to do something for their community
Yeah,
and
do
get.
something. It doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter the amount of money. We started with 30 turkeys. We started with less. 15 turkeys we started giving people. And guess what? When we gave 15 turkeys, the one person will come in and said, "You just saved my life. This Thanksgiving,
Oh,
I had no way to have to provide for my family. We was just gonna be there and we were just going to sleep. Now we have a turkey. I could go back and look like a hero for my kids because my kids look forward to that. Those touch me really, and that's the reason why we kept increasing it every year because it touched your heart to hear someone say something like this. All the money they probably was gonna buy the turkey with, they probably could buy something else. So those touch my heart.
yes. And it's amazing and beautiful. Feeding families, it's one of the best ways
Yes,
that you can help our families from different communities.
I agree.
So, Kevin, before we're running out of time, but before we leave, I would like to give you the opportunity to tell our audience how they can find you and how you work with them.
All right. I am, you can find me on kevinmarius.com. And as well, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm a very big fan of LinkedIn. And I learned, I met so many people. I learned so much thing on LinkedIn. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Kevin Marius. And I'm open to have conversation. And if you are looking for a speaker, I'm here to speak. And my topic is always about resilience and so many deep story that I could tell you that we haven't got a chance to go through to this podcast. But I'm here to motivate you and to encourage you to fight back no matter what happened in your life, fight back. Because I tell people, the first thing I tell them is every you hit rock bottom, no matter what happened to you, if you go through the pain, you will grow through the. If you go through the rain, you will grow through the pain. So that's the message.
Amen. That is beautiful. Amen to that. Thank you so much, Kevin. I am very happy to have met you and to had this conversation with you. And to our audience, thank you so much for being here today once more. And remember, you came to this world because a great source, God, love you to be loved and love one another. Thank you so much. See you later. Bye.
Hi, it's Maritza here. If you like this episode of My Accent is No Accident podcast and would like to listen more like this, subscribe wherever you're listening to it or watching it. Leave us a nice review and share with your friends, family, and network. Thanks for listening.